The 2024 American presidential election is approaching. The two main competitors are Donald Trump and Joe Biden, a rematch of the last election. There are a bunch of third-party candidates, but due to the highly restrictive two-party system of the USA, they have no chance of actually winning. First past the post makes third-party candidates unviable, and often they struggle to even get on the ballot. So we have two options: Joe Biden or Donald Trump. It is my view that Joe Biden is far better than Donald Trump and should be re-elected. I endorse Joe Biden. I think anyone living in the USA should vote for Joe Biden. I do not like Joe Biden. His support for the Israeli government and its wanton murder and ethnic cleansing is indefensible and horrific. He is increasingly showing symptoms of mental decline as his age begins to catch up with him. His weakness in the face of an increasingly illiberal Republican Party is inexcusable and disgraceful. But in spite of these things, Joe Biden is far better than Donald Trump. Donald Trump is so bad that Joe Biden is still superior in spite of these momentous shortcomings. Joe Biden is better on basically every single issue. Joe Biden will continue to support Ukraine in their struggle against the aggression of the cruel and dictatorial Putin regime. The Ukrainian struggle is a noble one. They should not be abandoned. They should be aided in their righteous resistance. Trump has indicated that he would abandon them. This would empower and encourage aggressive behavior from Russia and other states. Joe Biden may support Israel, but Trump is a far stronger supporter of Israel than Biden is. Trump has been criticizing Biden for not supporting Israel enough. Joe Biden is horrendous on the Gaza issue, but Trump is even worse. Joe Biden has massively reduced the number of US drone strikes. Trump massively increased the number of US drone strikes. Drone strikes are notorious for killing large numbers of civilians. Trump's rhetoric on foreign policy has been momentously irresponsible. He has spoken of bombing Russia and China. He has spoken about encouraging Russia to attack NATO members who fail to contribute their share to defense funding. Trump's rhetoric on foreign policy issues is horrendous. If Trump wins, he will continue his standard approach to foreign policy. An approach to foreign policy that is characterized by a number of factors: bloodlust, emotional impulse, total unpredictability, refusal to support noble struggles, and eagerness to support immoral states. Isolationism in the face of necessary intervention, and intervention in the face of necessary isolationism. Trump's foreign policy is horrendous. Joe Biden is better than Trump on most foreign policy issues. Ukraine, Gaza, drone strikes. Biden is superior to Trump on all of these issues. Lesser evil voting means lesser evil voting. Many of the supposed advocates of lesser evil voting have abandoned Biden because he is too evil. Yet he is still the lesser evil, and he is still a lesser evil by a significant margin. You should not facilitate the victory of a far worse candidate simply to maintain a sense of moral purity. And then there are the domestic issues. Biden is better on most, if not all, domestic political issues. Biden does not constantly abuse his platform to scapegoat and demonize minority groups. If Trump returns, the USA will once again have a president who eagerly attacks transgender people and racial minorities. Biden does not constantly attack these groups. Trump constantly attacks them. He demonizes them with rhetoric and endangers them with policy. Trump promotes and propagates hatred and prejudice in a way that Biden simply does not. Trump encourages and exploits division in a way that Biden simply does not. Trump is far worse on the issue of abortion. Trump's Supreme Court appointments were responsible for the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the barrage of anti-abortion policy that followed it. Trump is opposed to abortion and has repeatedly endangered and attacked abortion rights. Trump is responsible for the attacks on abortion rights that can be seen in many US states. Biden is not an opponent of abortion rights. Biden and the Democratic Party support abortion rights. They will not pass anti-abortion laws. They will not appoint anti-abortion judges. And that brings us to the issue of the courts. Trump appoints deranged far-right Christian conservatives to be judges. Trump has filled the Supreme Court with deranged far-right conservative judges who will be there for decades to come. These people are a major threat to civil liberties and minority rights. They have attacked women's rights and have suggested that they will come for racial and sexual minorities too. These court appointments will have consequences for decades to come. For decades to come, these people will undermine progress and facilitate regress at every opportunity. Trump cannot be given an opportunity to appoint more of them. Trump must be denied that opportunity. Biden will appoint moderate liberal judges. This is far superior to Trump's deranged far-right conservative judges. Trump's court appointments will threaten minority rights and civil liberties for decades to come. He cannot be given an opportunity to appoint any more. And then there is the issue of climate change. Biden is far from good on the issue of climate change, but he is far better than Trump. Biden recognizes that climate change is an issue and takes action to address it. He may not do enough, but he is far better than Trump. Trump uses his position as president to promote climate change denialism. Trump does not believe in climate change and has no interest in addressing climate change. Trump propagates, popularizes, and normalizes climate change denialism. Trump does nothing to address climate change. Trump is far worse on this issue. He actively uses his position to promote climate change denialism. It is not even close. Trump is far worse, and it is not even close. Trump does not even recognize the threat. He openly denies it. Biden is far better than Trump on the issue of climate change. Biden is better than Trump on basically every single issue. Biden has empowered trade unions and created loads of jobs. In spite of his rhetoric, the USA lost jobs under Trump, and he did not empower workers. Trump styles himself as pro-worker, but in terms of substance, he just serves the wealthy. Biden is far more pro-worker than Trump. Trump is horrendously corrupt. From his dealings with Saudi Arabia to his shameless commitment to the interests of the wealthy, Trump is a horribly corrupt candidate. Perhaps worst of all, Trump has repeatedly attacked freedom, democracy, and the Constitution. Trump attempted to overturn democracy after the 2024 election. His fake electors scheme, his constant denial of the election result, the deranged insurrection carried out by his supporters. Trump is the enemy of democracy, and this has repeatedly been made obvious. If re-elected, Trump will again attempt to destroy American democracy. Trump is an enemy of democracy, and because he cannot run for re-election again, he has every incentive to destroy it. Trump hates freedom. He has advocated deporting people for protesting. He has advocated arresting people for protesting. Trump is a deranged authoritarian who has no respect for individual freedoms or civil liberties. He views your rights as an inconvenience and an inconvenience to be eradicated. He has spoken of a desire to overturn the Constitution. He is totally illiberal. He hates freedom. He hates democracy. He hates your rights. He hates your freedoms. He is your enemy. Trump is a force of chaos and division. He is incompetent, he creates chaos, he encourages and exploits division. He is a hugely destructive force. Trump must lose the approaching election. Trump is an awful candidate. He is a war criminal, he is a warmonger, he is horrendously corrupt, he is a deranged far-right authoritarian, he empowers and encourages far-right extremism. Biden is terrible, but he is far better than Trump. Another Trump presidency would be a disaster for America and for the world. Trump will abandon Ukraine and let Russia devour them. Trump will support Israel's depravity to an even greater degree than Biden. Trump will probably return to massive numbers of drone strikes and the huge civilian casualties that accompany them. Trump will continue to mindlessly antagonize Iran. Trump will continue to attack and undermine American democracy and the American Constitution. Given the two-term limit, he will have every reason to prevent a 2028 election. He will continue to serve the wealthy and screw over ordinary people. He will continue to demonize minorities and attack civil liberties. He will continue to promote climate change denialism and appoint deranged conservative judges. He will continue to attack abortion rights and encourage far-right extremism. Biden is bad, but Trump is far worse. Biden may be horrendous, but Trump is still far, far worse. The re-election of Trump would be a momentous mistake. Those who live in the USA should vote for Biden. Biden is a far better candidate than Trump. Biden must win the 2024 election. If Trump wins, the regret will be absolute. If Trump wins, people will wish they voted for Biden. They will watch an illiberal form of politics devour America and the world. They will see something far worse than an old man who supports Israeli depravity. They will see a regime of far-right depravity and total immorality. Trump must not be re-elected. Biden must be victorious in the 2024 election. Biden should not have been the Democratic candidate. They should have chosen someone more capable. But Biden is the Democratic candidate, and he is the lesser evil by an enormous margin. He is bad, but Trump is far worse. Biden must win the 2024 US election. A refusal to vote for him is a mistake. A vote for Trump is an even bigger mistake. In the face of Biden's appalling conduct, it may seem like a good idea now, but if Trump is re-elected, it will be recognized as a massive mistake.